and welcome to another full moon yoga class with me, Dee. Today's class is focused around the full moon in Scorpio. This zodiac is of the water element. It rules over the reproductive organs, genitals, prostate, rectum, colon, urethra, pubic bone, and the urinary tract. It is also associated with the Manipura or solar plexus chukr. With all this in mind, I've created today's class to include pranayama, asana, and a short visualization meditation. For this class, you may consider having a blanket, blocks, a strap, and a pillow close by. As you're ready, gather your props, hop into something comfy, and we'll get started. To begin, I invite you to come to a comfortable seated position. Whether that's with your legs crossed, one foot in front of the other, or sitting on a block, pillow, or blanket. As you're ready, inhale, reach the top of your head or the crown towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, ground down into your sit bones. Continue this as you breathe naturally. As you're ready, I welcome you to close down your eyes or have a soft gaze at a point a few inches in front of you. If you haven't already, begin to notice your breath, how it feels moving in and out of your nose. Notice any subtle movements your body makes as you breathe. As you take note of the breath, I invite you to acknowledge the land on which you reside and the people who have stewarded this land throughout generations. If you know the name of these peoples, you can name them now. If you don't know their names, that's all right. You can always take time after class to research. I will provide a link in the description box below for a starting point. As you continue to notice your breath, let us also acknowledge the land of yoga's origin, the Saraswati River and Indus Valley of India, and all the teachers and students who have kept this spiritual wisdom alive for us to be able to practice here today. Let's also take a moment here to set our sankalpa, or our intention, for this practice. This can be around the themes of this full moon in Scorpio, something like transformation, emotional bonds, joint resources, or sex. First thought, best thought. When you're ready, you can flutter your eyes open slowly. Next, we will practice the Ujjayi breath, or victorious breath. This pranayama not only slows down our breathing rhythm to foster easier focus during our practice, it also helps to keep internal heat, allowing us to stretch deeper. To get familiar with this breath, begin with one hand in front of your mouth. Inhale through your nose and exhale out your mouth, constricting the back of your throat, like you're trying to fog up a mirror. Let's do this together 3 times. You can release that breath. Allow your hand to come to your lap wherever it falls naturally. Now let's practice with our mouths closed. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose, constricting your throat. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Continue this ujjayi breath for a moment at your own pace. And notice the sounds that your breath makes. To me, it almost sounds like ocean waves. On your next exhale, release the ujjayi pranayama and begin to breathe naturally. As we move through the asana portion of this class, I invite you to continue using this breath technique. And of course, a reminder, I am solely a guide, and this is your sadhana, your practice. Everything I offer is a suggestion. Find what works best for you. As you're ready, let's come to a standing kneeling position. Begin by sitting on your heels, and then raise your hips over your knees. Stretch your right leg out to the side and rotate it so that your knee is pointing upward. Bring your right hand to your left leg or a block. Inhale, reach your crown towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend over your straight leg, reaching your left arm up and over. If you'd like, you can experiment with the placement of your right hand. Drishti or gaze is straight ahead. Breathe that ujjayi. Exhale, return to your kneeling position. And we'll do it on the other side. As you're ready, stretch your left leg out to the side and rotate it so that your knee is pointing upward. Bring your left hand to your left leg or a block. Inhale, reach the crown of your head up. Exhale, bend over your straight leg, reaching the top arm up and over. Breathe. Exhale, release this shape and join me in Varmanasana or tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Hands are about shoulder width apart, fingers pointing straight ahead. On your inhale, arch your back and open your chest, pushing your navel towards the ground. Your gaze or drishti is up. On your exhale, round your back. Push your hands and knees into the mat and chin towards your chest. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round it. Continue this Marjaryasana and Vittalasana Vinyasa, or cat-cow flow, at your own pace for a few more rounds. On your next exhale, release the flow, coming back to Varmanasana, or tabletop. Inhale, reach your right hand up towards the ceiling, allowing your chest to open to the side. Drishti or gaze at your right hand or down toward the mat. Breathe at Ujjayi pranayama. Exhale, right hand down to the mat. Inhale, your left hand reaching towards the ceiling. Set your drishti or gaze and breathe. Exhale your hand back down to the mat. Take a moment here to bring your navel slightly in to engage your core a bit. On your next inhale, reach your right arm and left leg out. Look forward. Hold this shape for a few breaths. Exhale both back down to the mat. Now for the other side. On your next inhale, lift your left arm out and right leg out. Hold this shape and breathe. Exhale back down. Now let's bring a little more flow, some water energy into the mix. Inhale, reach your right arm and left leg out. Exhale, bring your elbow towards your knee, underneath you. Inhale back out straight. Continue this flow with that Ujjayi breath for a few rounds at your own pace. And if this doesn't feel good, you can always move your leg and leave your hands on the mat. Or just hold the pose like we did previously. Exhale, release that flow, and we'll do it on the other side. Inhale, left arm and right leg out. Exhale, bring elbow towards knee. Inhale, back out straight. Continue this flow for a few more rounds with that Ujjayi breath. On your next exhale, release that flow, coming back to Varmanasana, tabletop. As you're ready, slide your right knee forward beside your right hand and slide your left leg backwards. Gently rest your right buttock near your left heel. Keep your left leg extending and your hips leveled. Stay here with your chest lifted, or on your next exhale, fold forward any amount. If you'd like, you can try experimenting with placing a block or a folded blanket under your right hip. If you're folded forward, on your next inhale, reach your chest back up. And as you're ready, come back to Barmanasana, tabletop. Slide your left knee forward beside your left hand and slide your right leg backward just a bit. Rest your left buttock near your left heel. Keep your right leg extended behind you, hips leveled. Stay here or lean forward any amount and breathe that Ujjayi breath. On your next exhale, release this shape and come to lying on your stomach. Place your hands under your shoulders and legs are about hip width apart or wider. Inhale your shoulders towards your ears. Exhale your shoulders down your back as you reach forward and up with your torso. Elbows can be slightly bent and ground down into your pelvis. Drishti or gaze is straight forward or upward. Exhale your torso back down. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale your shoulders towards ears. Exhale, shoulders down your back, reaching your torso forward and up. Exhale back down. Last time, when you're ready, inhale up and hold this shape as you breathe, Ujjayi. Exhale back down. Take a moment here to rest as I give you 2 options for our next pose. Option 1, you can rest your chin or forehead on the mat, arms along your sides, palms up. Inhale, lift your head, chest, arms, and legs off the mat. Draw your shoulders back and down and breathe. Option 2, bend your legs and reach back to grab each foot. You can use a strap here if you'd like. Inhale, lift your chest and knees off the mat, grounding through your abs. Keep your neck long and in line with the spine as you breathe. Whichever option you chose, take 3 more breaths here with that Ujjayi. On your next exhale, everything down to the mat. As you're ready, make your way into Balasana or child's pose. Knees can be together, leaning over them, arms along your sides, palms up, or knees can be spread wide with arms extending in front of you. Take a moment here to rest. Take your time and make your way into Uttanasana, or forward fold at the top of your mat. Feet can be about hip width apart or wider. Knees can be bent any amount. Allow your head and neck to relax on your next exhale. And if you'd like, you can play around with shaking your head yes and no. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, slowly roll up your spine. Once standing, if they aren't already there, bring your feet about hip width apart. Exhale, shift your weight into your right foot. Find a non-moving point to set your drishti or gaze upon. Bring the ball of your left foot to the inner arch of your right, your knee opening up to the side. Stay here or move your left foot anywhere along the right leg, except your knee. Hands can be on hips, palms together at your chest, or arms raised to the sides any amount. Hold this balancing vrikshasana or tree pose and breathe that ujjayi breath. On your next exhale, begin to reach your left foot back, making your leg parallel to the ground. And reach your torso forward a bit, balancing on your right leg for a moment. Then gently place your left foot to the mat behind you, turning your heel to touch the mat. Your right thigh parallel to the mat now, knee bent over the ankle. Arms can be wherever you had them previously, or try a different position. Hands can be on hips, palms together at your chest, or raised to the sides any amount. On your next exhale, turn your left toes out a little more, making your foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Hips and torso are now facing the left. Extend your arms out to the sides, about shoulder height, if that feels good. Bend into your front knee, drishti or gaze at your front hand. Breathe ujjayi. Exhale, straighten your front knee and shift your left foot forward a bit to have a shorter distance between your feet, if that feels good. Exhale, reach your right arm out and lean towards the right. Your right hand can land on the mat in front of your right foot, on your ankle, shin, thigh, or a block. Drishti or gaze can be up or down. On your next inhale, reach towards the ceiling with your left fingertips to help you not fall into your right hand. Breathe here in Trikonasana or triangle pose. Exhale your torso back to center and come to standing at the top of your mat. We'll do all of that on the other side now. Bring your feet about hip width apart, and on your next exhale, shift your weight into your left foot. Bring the ball of your right foot next to the inner arch of your left as your knee opens to the side. Hands on hips, prayer position at your chest, or reaching towards the ceiling any amount. Your drishti or gaze is on a non-moving point somewhere in front of you. Stay here or move your right foot anywhere along the left leg except your knee. Breathe. On your next exhale, begin to reach your right foot back as you lean forward, slightly balancing here for a moment. Then, gently place your right foot on the mat behind you. Turn your heel to touch the mat. Your left thigh is parallel to the mat, knee bent, aligned with your ankle. Choose your preferred arm position for this Virabhadrasana 1 or Warrior 1 on the left. On your next exhale, turn your left toes out a little more, making your foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Hips and torso face the right. Extend your arms out to the sides and gaze at your left hand. Exhale, straighten your front knee and shift your right foot forward a bit to have a shorter distance between the feet, if that feels good. Exhale, reach your left arm out and leans towards the left. Your left hand can land on the mat in front of your right foot, your ankle, shin, thigh, or a block. Drishti or gaze is up or down. On your next inhale, reach toward the ceiling with your left fingertips to help you not collapse into your right hand. Breathe that Ujjayi breath in Trikonasana or triangle pose. Exhale your torso back over your hips. Keep your feet where they are, or maybe a little closer together. Toes on both feet are pointing 45 degrees outward. Exhale, bend your knees coming down into a squat. If your heels are lifted, try placing a folded blanket under them. Or you can try sitting on a block or two. Find the position in the squat where you can have your back erect. If you'd like, you can sit with a wall to your back. You can also choose to do a wide-legged squat. In ballet, it's called second position, where your hips are not as close to the ground, but thighs are parallel to the ground. Feet are wider than hip width, toes pointed out 45 degrees. Find your malasana or yogi squat and breathe. On your next exhale, release the shape and make your way to lying on your stomach. Hands with palms down next to your ribs. Toes can be curled under or the tops of the feet flat on the mat. On your next inhale, straighten your arms to lift your upper body, hips, and legs off the ground. Only your hands and feet touch the mat. Keep shoulders above the wrists and away from your ears. Breathe that Ujjayi pranayama as you hold Urdhva Mukha Shavasana or upward facing dog. Exhale, slowly bring everything back down to the mat. We'll do this one more time. When you're ready, on your next inhale, straighten your arms to lift your upper body, hips, and legs off the ground. Only your hands and feet are touching the mat. Keep your shoulders above your wrists and away from your ears. Exhale everything down. Take your time here to come to a seated position with your feet flat on the mat, knees bent. Place your hands behind you, fingers are toward or away from you. And when you're ready, on your next exhale, lean back, lifting your shins to be parallel with the mat. You can keep your hands where they are or find another position that feels good. Maybe at your chest in prayer position or extended along your legs. You can even try holding the back of your thighs to make this a little less intense. Keep your legs bent or experiment with straightening them. Find what feels good here in your navasana or boat pose and breathe that ujjayi breath. Exhale everything down. As you're ready, come to lying down on your back. Knees are still bent here, just over your ankles. Feet can be about hip width apart or wider. Arms are along your sides, palms down. Inhale, begin to tilt your pelvis towards you. Engage your glutes and raise your hips towards the ceiling. Chin reaches up as you gaze up. On your next exhale, slowly lower your hips, moving through the spine with care. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, begin with tilting your pelvis towards your head. Engage your glutes and shift your hips towards the ceiling. Hold this for a moment. Exhale your hips back down. One last time. Inhale up. And we will hold this Setu Bandhasana or bridge pose for a few more rounds of breath. Exhale your hips down slowly. Extend your legs out long and place your hands next to your hips, about shoulder width apart. Fingers point toward or away from you. Inhale, lift your hips and press your feet into the mat. Open your chest and gently tilt your head backward if it feels good. Squeeze your glutes and hold this Purvottanasana or upward plank using that ujjayi breath. Exhale your hips back down. Lie on your back once more, and on your next exhale, bring your right leg towards your chest. When you're ready, you can shift it towards the left, twisting into your spine. Shoulders stay connected to the mat, and you can place a block under your knee if you like. Drishti or gaze is to the right. Arms can be out in a T shape or elbows bent in a cactus shape. Breathe, Ujjayi. Exhale, release this shape and extend your right leg back out. When you're ready, exhale your left knee towards your chest. Then shift it towards the right. Your drishti is towards the left, and shoulders are still connected to the mat. Place your block under your knee if it feels good, and breathe. Exhale, slowly come out of this shape and extend your left leg back out. On your next exhale, bring both knees towards your chest and wrap your arms around your knees or shins, giving yourself a nice big hug. If you'd like, you can bring your nose towards your knee to engage the neck. And I encourage you to play around with swaying side to side. Exhale, release this pose, and begin to make your way to your Shavasana. Traditionally, Shavasana looks like lying on your back, legs and arms extended out but relaxed. Your feet may naturally turn outward, and your palms can be up or down. However, this is your sadhana, your practice. So find a comfortable position where you can be relaxed for the remainder of class. As you arrive in your Shavasana, I invite you to take 3 deep breaths down into the belly, exhaling out the mouth with an audible sigh. On your last exhale, come back to breathing naturally and begin to notice your breath moving in and out of your nostrils. Notice the subtle movements your body makes as you breathe. In your mind's eye, I invite you to imagine the person you hold your closest bond to. See them standing in front of you. Notice what they're wearing. Notice how they're standing and their facial expressions. As you notice this person in front of you, I welcome you to ask yourself, what is my current comfort level with this person? Notice your breath as you await this answer. It may come visually or audibly. And if nothing comes, that's okay. Continue to notice your breath. Now ask yourself, what do I need to release or be more vulnerable about in order to bolster this comfort level with this person? Continue to see this person in your mind's eye as you ask, is there anything I can do to help boost my emotional well being within this close bond? Again, allow this answer to arise organically. And if nothing happens, that's okay too. You may receive the message as sensations within your body. Just notice. Continue to notice your breath here and anything else that may arise. You can keep working with these questions or just allow yourself to focus on your breath. I'll let you know when it's time to come back. If the mind wanders, gently bring it back to these questions or your breath. If the mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. If the mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. As you're ready, I welcome you to take a few deep breaths. Maybe you'd like to exhale out of your mouth with a sigh. Begin to make small movements with your fingers and toes, and move in any way that feels good as you slowly bring your awareness back to your body. When you're ready, bring your feet flat to the mat, knees bent, if they aren't already there. Roll to your favorite side using your bottom arm as a pillow. Take a moment here to offer yourself some gratitude for making it to the mat today. Maybe you would like to offer some gratitude to the moon as well. And anything else you may be grateful for today. As you're ready, bring your top hand palm down in front of your chest. Push into your hand, bringing yourself to a comfortable seated position. If you'd like, you can join me with palms together at your chest and bow your forehead to touch your fingertips. Raise your head back up and gently allow your eyes to flutter open, slowly taking in your surroundings. I thank you for joining me in this full moon in Scorpio yoga class. Happy full moon, y'all, and blessed be.